What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. Welcome back on match day. We play Cagliari in a couple of hours, but that's not really what we're going to talk about. Talked about it on the live a little bit later, earlier today, yesterday, excuse me. So we'll check that out. But we're going to talk about Bremer moving in the summer. It's on the board. It's becoming a bit more realistically with every single day passing. It's not a done deal. It's not 100% done. But I think the worrying part right now is how are we going to replace Bremer potentially? Because I think nobody really envisioned this scenario where Bremer was leaving, let's say a month or so ago, just before the release clause news appeared. Nobody was thinking about Bremer leaving. And now it's becoming a realistic option that, in the summer, we might need to replace Bremer. How and who? That's the question. But first, let's talk about Bremer. Before we do that, like the video, subscribe, and let's jump straight into it. Okay, guys. So Bremer's move on the board. That's what we're going to talk about. It is on the board. Bremer potentially could be leaving Juve. It's not a fairy tale, or it's not a BS story anymore, because when the news first broke, I think leading up to the days, we were like, there's no way Juve included a release clause, and especially not that low in his contract. However, they did, and it's not active for this summer. However, if you need to believe the same sources, and why wouldn't we? Because they broke the story on it weeks before when we were dismissing it, saying that if an offer comes in that's close to the release clause, they have a verbal agreement that if Bremer says, let me go, Juve will let him go. Let him go. If the offer is way below, Bremer will accept that and he will go on. Now, the difference with the last couple of weeks is that now, apparently, Bremer's more open to leave. Man U are pushing for him. I'm still struggling. It depends on how the summer will look for Man U, but he doesn't really need to leave for the money. He is on good money. We are in a bad spot, but so are Man U. They're all over the place. We are all over the place. So it's basically a rebuild no matter where he goes. I found it very strange that he potentially actually wants to move and adapt again in the rebuild phase when, yes, we are rebuilding, but it's just third season. If he really wants to go to the Premier League one day, for me, if I was him, I would stay. I would stick out. And see what happens with Juve, because and pick a better move, with all due respect to Man U, who are a big club, but they have been hot garbage for years, they've been all over the place, a mess. So that's that, and if we get 60 million for him, yes, you make profit, but it's not really it is about profit, obviously, financially for this club. However, how are you going to replace Bremer? Like, when we talk about Calafiori, we all think, oh, that's a good addition to Bremer, And if you hear the potential replacements, they're not joyful. Pavlovic from Salzburg, I like him, but no, he's not that guy, He isn't. So you bring Calafiori in, you make, again, like one step forward, two step backwards. That's what we always do. Now, let's say Mota comes in and he changed to a back four. Yes, there are question marks on Bremer. There are, excuse me, but you're not telling me that you're going to go into the Champions League, Club World Cup, play tons of games, and have Calafiori, Danilo, Rugani, like Heusen, maybe Diallo, no idea. You need more than just Calafiori, and you need more than Calafiori and Pavlovic. Like, you need a main guy. And when people say Danilo is not a main guy. On the highest stage, he's not. On the highest stage, Real Madrid moved him on. City moved him on for good reasons. For good reasons. He's not that guy. He's not the best defender at the club right now. And you lose your best defender. You need a better defender than Danilo. So you cannot go into the summer suggesting that you're going to replace Bremer easily, or with one player, even if you move to a back four. Because even if Bremer stays and you get Calafiori, we still need to clean up at the back. I still want the club to clean up and send a powerful message towards the future as well. Telling Danilo, this is it. You're the next one who gets X, basically. That's how it's gonna work right here. Like, we need that message. But the Bremer one is realistic, and it's, for me, a headache I was not prepared to deal with this summer, and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating for me. And I think for all of you guys, because he has been our best player, I think, this season. Some might say McKennie. For me, it's Bremer. However, we're gonna need to deal with it, guys. We're gonna need to deal with it, and we're gonna get linked with Hermoso. We're gonna get linked with just rattle down the list of defenders. Pavlovic now, and it's every day. It's a different name out there. It's not said that Bremer is gone, but like that release clause, I said it so many times. I hate it because even if you think being the club, yeah, 60, 70 mil, we will accept that for Bremer. I think he's worth that. You're never in control of the situation. You're never in control of the situation. If the club says, here's the money, and Bremer is like, goodbye, he's gone the next day, and you're sitting there. That's why I don't like what this release clause is. Just be better at negotiating. We are not. We have proven that we're not good at negotiating. I get that, but we need to show up now. For once, show up and show the world this is it. But we did that release clause, and now we're stuck. We are stuck, and for me, it will potentially add to more of the issues we already have. You're gonna need to improve that midfield. You're gonna need to make tough decisions up front. It's a tough summer already, and I think adding Bremer or replacing Bremer to that mix is not what it is. Other news, it's all vague right now. And it should be vague because there's no coach. Nobody knows for certain who the coach is gonna be as of now. So you can go different directions with the transfer news. Like I said, Anderson, Tuttosport made a front page, and they needed to change it midnight when they already printed probably 1,000 of copies to change it because he signed for Palmeiras, and nobody knew that. And the day after, we are linked with Greenwood, Martial, with Lamela. Like, those are BS stories. As of now, they're completely bullshit. Martial, if I mention Martial, they're just looking at lists of free agents or very cheap options, and they are throwing them every single day into the media. Nicolas Pepe from Trabzonspor, like, they are going down the list of average cheap wingers, and they're throwing him, on what is it? Ink. They're inking him on paper, inking it on paper, and hopefully people run with it. You're not gonna run with it. Also because I refuse to run with it. Zaccagni, very close. A good possibility we'll get him. Boom, signs with Lazio, which is good because I don't like Zaccagni, but that's the situation we're in now. Potentially Bremer could still stay, but the feeling right now is that he's probably gonna move in the summer. It's probably gonna happen that he's going to go to Man U, and Juve are going to accept Man U's offer. So we need to deal with it. We need to find a solution if so, and it cannot be just Calafiori. We need more than just one player to replace the best player at the club this season. So I don't know how we're going to do it, but let's see how the club will open with it. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later today after the game. Hopefully we beat Cagliari.